First time we met was at McDonald's. Tanner and I pulled up. Mia came with Ann. I guess I passed her look test. She definitely passed mine. That weekend we hit senior prom together. After the dance, I told her, had a great time. She smiled. I had too. She was sweet, funny, mysterious since she didn't go to our school. Tanner told me she liked me too, so we started hanging out. A month later, we all went to the Christmas ball at St. Cecilia's. Real Christmas there, not the Winterfest crap our school does. Big deal event, downtown Hilton, not some gym. Soon as we walked in, I felt it, cold stares from the St. Cecilia's guys, like we were trespassing. While I danced with Mia, this short, stocky dude, dark hair, cut in. I backed off. Let her do her thing. After a couple songs, she came back. But later, he tried again. Michael, I'm with Max, Mia said. We already danced. One more, he said, stepping in, bumping me on purpose. I pushed him back. She said no, man. Then he clocked me right in the chin. Saw stars, but stayed standing. Before he could swing again, I grabbed him and slammed him down. Mia screamed. His boys jumped in. Two grabbed my arms, held me still. Michael got in a kick before Tanner charged in. Tanner's huge. He shoved Michael hard, barked at the others to back off. They did, right as a chaperone showed up. That should have been it, but nope. One of Michael's friends whispered something to an adult. The guy nodded. Next thing we knew, Tanner and I were kicked out. No questions asked. Their house, their rules. Mia and Ann left with us. As we walked out, Michael said, "See you later, tough guy." I stared him down on our way out. I wasn't used to enemies. Even in sports, I'd shake hands, win or lose. This was new. Tanner and Ann laughed it off. Mia leaned into me. "Still early," Tanner said. "Night's not over. Let's hit Bernie's." We crammed into a booth at Bernie's Cafe, talked about the dance. Mia hugged me. "Thanks for standing up for me." Tanner laughed. "You really went off, bro. Who was that clown anyway?" "Just some guy," Mia muttered. "Not just some guy," Ann added. Turned out he was Mia's ex, dated through sophomore year. She dumped him after he cheated. Since then, he kept crawling back. "Let's not talk about Michael," Mia said, snuggling closer. "You're my boyfriend now." Boyfriend? Guess taking a punch upgraded me from seeing each other to official. She was way more into me after that. It felt good. We sat, ate, talked. I noticed Ann was more than just pretty. She actually cared. Asked if I was okay after the fight. I told her I was fine. Even though we got kicked out, the night ended great. I saw a softer side of Mia, warmer. I think that night I started falling for her, and it felt like she was falling too. Yeah, I know, it's high school, but it felt real. Over the next weeks, things with Mia got better. We met each other's families. Did the usual couple stuff, dinners, hanging with Tanner and Ann, talking about the future. Junior year meant college prep, tests, apps, visits. I saw her in that picture. Not sure if she saw me in hers. I was an only kid, pretty close with my parents. My dad ran an insurance agency. That summer I started working there part-time. Other days I helped Aunt Helen. Helen never married, lived in this big old house on land the city grew around. Developers kept trying, but she wasn't selling. She was a little weird, always humming or whispering like she was tuned into some radio only she could hear. But she liked me, gave me a chore list every time I showed up. Never paid me, though. Just handed me an ice cream sandwich when I finished and sent me on my way. One day I told Dad, she never pays me. He said, "Don't worry, you'll get paid." No clue what he meant. Between work, helping Helen, and football, I was busy. Still made time for Mia. Tried to see her every night. Realistically, it was a few times a week. Things with Mia were good, just not growing. Stuck in place. Before practice started, my family did our usual 2-week trip to Cali, but this time I wasn't into it. All I could think was, I'm going to miss Mia. When we got back, football kicked off. Tanner and I started carpooling again. Felt like I hadn't seen him in forever. "How's Anna?" I asked one Monday driving home. "She's fine," he said, real casual. I looked at him. "What happened?" He shrugged. "Broke up? Didn't want to be locked down senior year." "Seriously? Anna's awesome, sweet, pretty, loyal. She's like perfect." Tanner raised an eyebrow. "Sounds like you got a thing for her." "No, it's not that. I just thought you two were solid." "Max, we're in high school. Stuff doesn't last. Anna's cool, but I'm not ready to settle. Maybe in 10 years. Not now." I didn't say much after that. Just sat there thinking about Tanner, about Mia, about Anna too. That Saturday, I picked up Mia. First time I'd seen her since the trip. She smiled, hugged me, but something was off, like distant. We drove around, talked about my trip, school starting, normal stuff. But I could feel the gap. Something had shifted. Next week, I called her. Still felt weird. "What's going on?" I asked. "Just school," she said. "My mom's stressing me out." "So, you want to hang Saturday?" Maybe. I'll let you know." She bailed before I could ask more. By Saturday, still nothing. I called. No answer. So I drove over. Her mom opened the door. "Oh, hi, Max," she said, kind of surprised. "Is Mia home?" "She's out," she said, then paused like she wanted to say more. "I'll tell her you came by." Right before the door closed, I saw it. Pity in her eyes. Mia had always been good at talking. We were real. We told each other everything. Now, she was straight up ghosting me. I sat in my car, numb. This wasn't her. We used to talk about colleges, the future, hell, even kids, but something had changed. And deep down, I knew what it meant. I told myself I wouldn't call again. I wasn't going to be that guy chasing someone who didn't care. That Friday was our first game against Roosevelt. I was trash in practice all week. Head wasn't in it. Coach nearly benched me. We barely won. Against a team we should have crushed. I was supposed to be the leader. I blew it. Next week, Mia sent a couple dry texts. Nothing real, just been busy. We played Regis. Should have been an easy win. We lost. I knew it was on me. Then came St. Cecilia. Big rivalry. Private school. Recruited like crazy. And yeah, I wondered if Mia would be there. By then, she'd gone totally silent. Kickoff, they scored fast. We hit back. Up 14-7. But by the second quarter, they tied it. Their running back, Michael Ameche. Yeah, that Michael. The one who punched me at the Christmas dance. They got close to our goal line. I froze. He ran straight through me. After the play, he stood over me. "Not so tough now, huh?" He grinned. "Bet Mia loved that hit." Wait, Mia? Halftime. We were down. Locker room was dead quiet. Tanner stood up. "We're better than this. Get your heads on straight." Then he looked at me. "Don't let them roll us, man." I looked down. Couldn't even argue. Before we went back out, Tanner pulled me aside. "Max, get your head out of your A. You know Mia's back with Ameche, right?" I froze. "He's out there trying to humiliate you. You gonna let him?" He pushed me, locked eyes. "You're the smartest dude I know. Play smart, fight back." He jogged off. His words hit hard. While I was sitting here all heartbroken, Mia went right back to that prick. Now he was clowning me in front of a crowd. Something in me snapped. We scored fast in the third. Then both defenses locked in. Halfway through the quarter, I saw a formation from the game film. "Nat!" I yelled. "Go man-to-man on Perkins. I got flat." He nodded. Perkins sprinted. I moved wide. Ameche popped out, caught a pass midair. Big play coming. But I was ready. I launched at his leg. Low. Crack. He screamed. Ball popped out. I grabbed it, ran it back 57 yards. Touchdown. Crowd exploded. My team lost it. As I jogged back, I glanced at the bleachers. Mia was there, staring, eyes glassy. I smiled. They carted Ameche off. After that, they folded. We won, 35-24. Handshake line was tense. One of his buddies came last. I smirked. "Tell Michael I said get well soon." "F you," he spat. Didn't matter. Even after the win, the pain stuck. The betrayal, the silence. People say the opposite of love is indifference. Not for me. It was hate. Senior year flew, then 4 years of college. I'd always planned to join my dad's insurance firm, so I stuck with finance. Most people change majors. I didn't. I knew what I wanted, and that gave me peace. But I never had another real girlfriend. Not in high school, not in college. And what happened with Mia left a scar. I gave her everything, time, trust, feelings, and she just faded out. No breakup, no reason, just silence. I never asked why. Never got closure. Tanner once mentioned she and Ameche started hanging out again that summer. Just happened. I didn't get it. Still don't. Maybe that's why I shut people out. I didn't want to go through that again. Only upside? I wrecked Ameche's shot at playing college ball. Saw him once. Still limped. Good. Tanner got a football scholarship at a small Texas school. We didn't talk much in college, but when we did, it was like nothing had changed. He studied construction. I stuck with finance and went straight into the family business after graduation. John Early Insurance was steady. I started meeting clients, working hard, building trust. I was carving out my own space there. Then in April, Aunt Helen passed. Quiet, peaceful. Heart just gave out. She was just shy of 60. It hit hard. Our family wasn't big, just me, mom, dad, and her. Her weird little habits, that soft voice. The house felt empty without her. A few weeks later, Dad and I met with her lawyer. He wanted me there. She left Dad a small investment account. But the big surprise? Her house and all 9.7 acres, she left that to me. I was stunned. Walking out, Dad put his arm around me. Remember how you used to say Helen never paid you? I nodded. Well, he said, smiling, I think you just got paid. Just like that, I owned land. Aunt Helen's big lacy curtain house was mine now. Not exactly a bachelor pad, but still, something real. Between the job and the house, I stayed busy. At work, I noticed something. Dad hadn't changed a thing in 25 years, but the world had. If we were going to grow, we needed a new look. So I started with the office. Old blinds, crooked porch, warped railing. It looked like it belonged in a museum. First impression mattered, and ours said stuck in the past. I called a few landscaping firms. The second one to show up, Anne Dubois, Mia's old friend. Soon as I saw her, it all came rushing back. My stomach twisted. But Anne? She smiled like we were old pals. Max, no way. It's you. She skipped the handshake and hugged me. That helped. I remembered how sweet she'd always been. How have you been? You look great. So this is your place now? She asked, rapid fire. We caught up quick. She had an architecture degree, now doing a master's in landscape design. Worked for GL2, lived in the city. I told her about the agency and the renovation. Shifted fast into business. She blinked a bit at the switch, but rolled with it, asked good questions, took notes, promised sketches by Friday. Really good seeing you, Max, she said with a big smile. I'll call you later this week. Another quick hug. She walked off, still beautiful, same warmth, same laugh. I had to remind myself, slow down. I wasn't looking for trouble. First architect was way over budget. Third one flaked. I was banking on Anne. Thursday, she called. Got some entry ideas, she said. Nice, let's see 'em. Want to meet for lunch, maybe the Bluebird? I hesitated. It sounded like a date, even if it wasn't. She must have caught it. Or I can just come to the office, whatever works. No, lunch is fine, I said. 12:30? Perfect. That night, my head spun. I'd finally let go of the Mia anger. And here was Anne, tied to the past, but somehow different. Bluebird Bistro, 12:30. She looked amazing, maybe too amazing. She hugged me and jumped into the plans. First one was clean and simple. Second was sleek, modern, bit of an Asian vibe. I liked it more, but it was 10 grand over budget. I'll have to think about it, I told her. Our food showed up and the talk chilled out. She asked where I lived, so I told her the whole deal with Aunt Helen's house. She seemed into it, said she'd heard about the land before. Later she asked, what are you doing this weekend? Yard work, probably, I said. If the weather's decent, I'm out there all weekend. I love being around plants, she said. Bet it's nice having that much space. I laughed. Nice isn't the word I'd use. It's work, she smiled. Maybe I'll drop by and see it sometime. Saturday came. Like I said, I was deep into the yard, muddy, sweaty, shirt off. Helen's old garden was all hedges and roses, looked fancy but tired. I wanted something else, just didn't know what yet. Around noon, I saw dust kicking up in the driveway. Thought it was Mom or Dad, but they were out of town. It was Anne. I grabbed my shirt. You didn't need to do that, she laughed. I was enjoying the view. I stared, trying to figure out if she was joking or just pushing for this job. Still, I gave her the full tour. She actually seemed to care. I showed her what I wanted to fix, and she gave some smart ideas. What have you been working on today, she asked. I told her. She didn't hesitate, just jumped in. We worked side by side for hours. It felt easy, natural. I liked having her there. When the sun started to drop, she said she had to head out, but kind of lingered, like she wanted me to ask her to stay. I thanked her, showed her where to clean up, and walked her to her car. She left, slow, like she didn't want to. That night, all I could think about was Anne. Sweet, smart, beautiful, but she used to be close to Mia. And that still messed with my head. That week, we talked more about the office plans. I told her we liked the Asian-style one best, but it was too expensive. I hinted we had other bids, though we didn't. By Friday, she came back with a new version, cheaper, just $2K over our budget. We made a deal. She said they could start in 3 weeks. We should celebrate, she said. I smiled, awkward. You too. Have a good weekend. She looked a little let down, but didn't push it. Saturday, warm again. I was back in the yard. Mid-afternoon, she showed up with a picnic basket. "Can you put this inside?" she asked, handing it over. "What are we working on today?" I grinned. She joined me again, no hesitation. End of the day, she asked me to grab the basket and a corkscrew. She laid out a blanket, full spread, wine, food, everything. It was perfect. We talked, laughed, just felt easy again. And I realized Jail 2 already had the contract. She didn't need to impress me anymore. Maybe this wasn't about business. Over the next few weeks, she kept coming by. Sometimes to talk designs, sometimes just to help around the house. Our bond grew, but still, no flirting, no moves. I wanted to, but I kept holding back. Mia's ghost was still in the room. One Friday night, I left the office, ran 5 miles, got home, sat down for dinner, and my phone rang. "Hey, Anna," I answered, loud music in the background. No reply. "Hello, you good?" Then I heard her voice, slurred. "Do you have a girlfriend?" "What?" Then a different voice came on. "Hey, I'm Lindsay. I'm with Anna. She had a bit too much and was talking about driving to your place. She shouldn't. Can you come to Palantino's and get her?" "Yeah, I'm on my way." Palantino's wasn't a party spot. It was upscale. Date night vibes. I got there quick, found them. Lindsay was cute, but all I saw was Anna, even tipsy. She looked amazing. She apologized. I ordered a beer. Lindsay headed out. Just us now. After a minute, Anna leaned in. "Can we go to your place?" I nodded. We left. At my house, she looked around. It still had Helen's touch, doilies, old paint, dusty curtains, but she didn't care. Still a little tipsy, she looked at me and asked, "Do you like me?" "Yeah, I do." "Do you have a girlfriend?" "Nope." "I'm not trying to sound full of myself," she said, "but most guys make a move. You haven't." "You're beautiful, Anna," I said. "I've just been careful." She looked at me. "Why?" So I told her about Mia, the fallout, how it stuck with me. She listened, quiet. Then she said, "I know Tanner's your boy, but he can be an idiot. I've been around guys like that. I don't want that anymore. I need something real." She looked right at me. I didn't say anything. I was thinking too hard. She got up to use the bathroom. I sat there, staring at the wall. When she came back, she didn't say a word. We kissed. And then we didn't stop. That night changed everything. Felt like a new chapter. Work was solid. I was modernizing the business without messing up what my dad built. The house finally felt like mine. And Anna, she was all in. Loved the land, the garden, the yard. Said it was one of a kind. Swore I should never sell. Us, we were solid too. No more doubts. She made me feel safe, seen. But there was one thing I kept putting off, calling Tanner. I had to tell him. I was dating his ex. Yeah, it had been almost 9 years. Still, guy code, no expiration. He lived in Texas now, did real estate, said he liked it, but wouldn't mind moving back one day. I finally called. We talked for a few minutes, then I said, "Hey, there's something I need to tell you." He paused. "I'm seeing Anna, Du Bois." Silence. Then, "Wait, Anna? From St. Cecilia's?" "Yeah." Another beat. Then he laughed. "Man, good for you," he said. "She's great, and it's about time you let someone in." And just like that, the wait was gone. We talked a bit longer. Before we hung up, he said, "Guess I gotta come visit soon." The next few months, Anna and I kept building. She took over the garden, and we worked on the place together. Felt like a team. I started thinking about proposing. That call to Tanner cleared the last mental block. I knew Anna was it. I started looking at rings. I met a lot of people through work. One guy I really liked was Greg Boston. Met him when he built me a shed. We had a few beers after one job, hit it off. Later, he became a client and a good friend. Greg was moving up fast, from remodels to full homes. Always joked about buying my land. I always said no. Then I proposed to Anna. She said yes. We jumped into wedding plans. Anna and her mom handled most of it. I asked Greg to be a groomsman. Tanner was my best man. One day, while walking around the barn Greg built, Anna stopped. "Max, can we talk?" I braced myself. "Sure." "It's about the guest list." "Mia?" Big sigh of relief. I thought it was something worse. "I want to invite her and her husband," she said. "We're not close anymore, but she's still an old friend." I nodded. I knew they still talked sometimes, and I knew Mia married Michael Amiche. There was something else I knew too. Anna avoided hard questions by asking her own. I'd caught it before. One night she came home late. I asked who she was with. She replied, "Why do you want to know that?" Not a lie, just a dodge. Still, I said, Yeah, she should be there. Anna smiled. Thanks. The wedding was perfect. We held it on the property. The gardens looked amazing. Anna had done all the work and it showed. Tanner was a hit. No tension at all. Wore a tux with cowboy boots and a Stetson. Classic Tanner. Cracked jokes, charmed everyone. His date, Greta St. Kitts. Tall, blonde, model looks, European accent. Even I had to admit, next to her, Anna didn't shine quite as bright. But I still knew who I was lucky to have. Then came the moment. Mia and Michael. Hadn't seen them since high school. Michael walked up first. Congrats, man, he said, holding out his hand. Thanks, I said, shaking it. Mia stepped forward like she was gonna hug me. I offered a handshake. She hesitated, then took it. You look great, Mia, I said. She blinked like she couldn't tell if I meant it. Her lips parted like she was gonna say something, but she didn't. Michael cut in. So what do you do now? I gave him the short version. Insurance agency, my own clients, steady business. Big mistake. He launched into a full-on sales pitch about his job. Said he worked for Winegrass Properties. Property management. Same name I remembered from school. His buddy Jordan's dad ran it. Total slumlord rep. Dirty tactics, bad press. Of course, Michael didn't bring that up. Stop by sometime, he said, handing me his card. Maybe you can save us a few bucks on coverage. I smiled and nodded. But I already knew I'd never call. There's one more guest I should mention. Our receptionist, Yasmin Reynosa. She's been with us almost 2 years. Super sharp, sweet, and tiny. Maybe 5 feet tall, tops. Total asset to the office. I'd never met her husband before, just saw him wave from the car sometimes. But at the wedding, she brought him over. Max, this is my husband, Angel. If I had to guess just by the way he looked, I'd say ex-gang. Tattoos all up his arms and neck, real serious vibe. But when we talked, he was respectful. So, where are you going for the honeymoon? He asked. Hawaii. His face lit up. He pulled Yasmin close. Someday, baby, I'm going to take you there. The way he said it, honest, full heart, it stuck with me. The rest of the wedding? Perfect. Good food, good people. Then, just like I told Angel, Anna and I flew off to Hawaii. Best trip of my life. We came back now married and dove into real life. And married life? It was good. We both worked full-time and split the house stuff. Anna actually had more energy than me. She jumped into fixing up Aunt Helen's place. Inside, outside, everything. Right after the wedding, the photographer came back to shoot the garden for a story in the Sunday paper. He wanted cool outdoor spaces. Anna was pumped. She worked nonstop to get everything perfect. When the article came out, she was in 2 photos and had a bunch of quotes. Yeah, she looked great, but it was her passion and skill that stood out. She was a natural. About a year later, Tanner moved back. He'd done well in Texas, working for a big developer. Now, he wanted to start his own thing up here. He called it Texas Pacific. He rented a sleek office downtown, hired a hot secretary, and decked the place out. Gotta look rich to get rich, he told me once. I got it, but sometimes it felt a little much. Still, Tanner was around a lot. He was single again. Things with Greta had fizzled. Sometimes I got a little jealous, but mostly it was fine. The 3 of us hung out often. I also became his insurance guy, handled his home and business stuff. But he was high maintenance, always behind on premiums. I'd have to call or swing by just to grab checks. Miss a payment and you're not covered, I warned him once. He laughed it off, but I wasn't joking. One night, the 3 of us were on the patio with a bottle of wine talking about life. I like helping people. I said, well, I'll probably never be rich, but I love what I do. I'm good with a simple life. Anna chimed in. Someday I want my own landscaping company. I want people to see my work and say, that's Anna's. I want it to mean something, maybe even be famous for it. She laughed, but she meant it. Tanner sat quiet for a second, then said, I'm different. I want to make enough money to never take orders again. One big win. Something that lets me walk away anytime and still live large. I watched him. We were close, but I realized then we wanted different things. Time passed. That talk stuck in my head. One summer night, a little drunk, sitting outside, and just laying it all out. I felt like I was already living my dream. Work was solid. Dad was semi-retired now. Came in late, read his paper, stayed a few hours. I was growing the business, adding clients, thinking long-term. Anna was killing it too. Less than a year ago, she quit GL2 and started her own firm. Greg helped turn the shed into a real office right in the middle of her garden. It became her showroom. Clients walked around, saw the work, and signed on the spot. Tanner? From the outside, he looked successful, always busy, always building something. But I knew the truth. He was stretched thin, not sloppy, just deep in loans. He was chasing that one big hit. Then in May, he called. "Drinks tonight?" he said. "Got something to run by you. Evergreen at 6? Evergreen's a trendy bar. Not really my scene. But I said yes. He greeted me with a big hug. "Max, my guy." Right away, I knew he was selling something. "I think I've got the deal of a lifetime," he said, rubbing his hands. "It's a little complicated, but trust me, this thing prints money." He laid it out. Some land in Kauai, Hawaii, belonged to a widow whose husband used to work with him in Texas. Tanner had charmed her into giving him first dibs if she ever sold. "She wants $1 million for it," he said. "But it's worth 2, maybe 3. Beachfront, we build, sell homes for $5 million each." He showed me pics: crystal water, palm trees, clean sand. "I can raise $500,000, he said. "You match it, we're 50/50ths. I handle sales, we flip houses, you double your money in a year, 18 months tops." I sat quiet. It looked amazing. His pitch was smooth, his energy, electric. "Damn," I said, "that's a lot. I'd need a loan. I can't just write a check." He nodded. "It's worth it, man. We kill it." I told him I'd talk to Anna. He kept pushing. "Max, you're my best friend. We've always had each other's backs. Let's win big, together." But the more he leaned in, the more I started to pull back. That night, I told Anna everything. She seemed more into the deal than I was. Curious. I had mixed feelings. The more I thought about it, the less I liked it. Told her I'd sleep on it. By the next morning, I'd made up my mind. I was out. Too risky, too much money, and honestly, I was worried it might mess up our friendship if things went bad. I called Tanner, asked him to meet for lunch. He said sure. I expected him to be let down. I didn't expect the heat. "That's it?" he snapped. "You're walking away from a sure $500,000? His whole tone shifted. He got sharp, cold, started questioning my brain, my guts, then threw loyalty into it. "I thought we were friends," he said, eyes locked on me. I told him I just didn't want money to screw up what we had. He waved it off like it didn't matter. The more he talked, the more sure I was I'd made the right call. "Tanner," I said, "if it's such a great deal, someone else will jump in." He stared at me, tight jaw. Then he said, "Even Anna thinks it's smart." That caught me. "Anna? You talked to her?" He said he'd asked her for ideas for the landscaping in Kauai. "We'll need her touch," he said, like it was no big deal. But something in me tightened. I thought I was over that kind of jealousy. Guess not. After that lunch, things felt off. Not broken, just different. Like something shifted. A couple weeks later, Anna told me Tanner had asked her for some design ideas for the land. She was excited, said she'd never done a tropical project before. She said she liked the deal, but got why I passed. Things slowly went back to normal. We still worked together. I didn't ask about the Kauai stuff, but from what I heard, he was moving forward. One afternoon, I stopped by his office to pick up another late check. Saw a brochure on his desk. Big tropical estate, beach photo on the cover. I recognized the place. Tanner walked out just then. "Got a buyer lined up," he said, grinning. "Pulled it off. Took out loans. Closed the deal. Said he was almost done building a big cedar home in wine country. After that, he'd head to Kauai and start building the estate." "How's it looking?" I asked. $5.5 million, he said, real proud. "Who's buying?" "You know Sidney Winegrass?" Yeah, I knew him. Sketchy guy. Michael Lemeche worked for him. Tanner waved it off. "I've done deals with Sid. He's solid." I let it go, but it didn't sit right. A few days later, Anna came home with a big grin. "Guess who hired me?" she said. "Tanner?" She nodded. I'm doing the Kauai landscaping." "You're pumped," I said. "Totally. I've always wanted to design for the tropics. What do you need for it?" "Most of it I can handle here, but I'd like to go in October, be there in person. Maybe we turn it into a second honeymoon, business trip, tax write-off." Honestly, it sounded good. I was down. A warm beach in the middle of a rainy fall? Sign me up. And yeah, we needed it. Things between us had been a little off. Then a week later, Anna had more news. "KPL called," she said. "They want me to host a garden show." She explained the pitch: weekly episodes, sponsors from local garden stores, tips for weekend projects, airing every Friday. Anna was perfect on camera, charming, clear, confident. She had the garden, the look, the whole setup. By early September, she signed the deal. In the garden with Anna. It would run through the holidays and pick back up in winter. She was thrilled. I was proud. But I started feeling like all her focus was going out, and less on us. We made plans for Kauai. She kept in touch with Tanner about the project. I didn't know how often, but when I dropped by her office, sometimes I heard her on the phone with him, and it didn't always sound like work. We were set to leave Friday. 8 days at the Sheraton. I needed it. We needed it. Dad and Yasmin would cover the office. I trusted her completely. Then 2 days before the flight, everything changed. My dad had a heart attack. Mom called me first, then called emergency. They rushed him to St. Luke's. Anna and I met her at the hospital. Dad was awake, but in pain. They let us see him for a minute. Later, the doctor said he'd be okay, but needed a few days in the hospital, then full bed rest. Anna and I looked at each other. The trip was off, for me at least. I had to stay. My folks needed help. The business needed me. Anna offered to cancel, but we both knew she had to go. Her work was tied to that land. I didn't fight it. We agreed. She'd go, then come back fast. We'd plan the second honeymoon later. That morning, I drove Anna to the airport. Dad was still in the hospital, and I was worried sick, so I wasn't really thinking about her trip. Still, I tried to focus. Told her I'd miss her, reminded her to enjoy Hawaii. We hugged, kissed, and then she was gone, lost in the security line. I promised I'd call every day. After that, I went straight back to Dad's bedside. On Saturday, they let him out. Doctors said full bed rest, maybe bypass surgery soon. Mom and I took shifts watching him. Dad was always up early. I told Mom I'd be at their place by 5 Sunday mornings so she could sleep. She swapped with me around 9 and I headed home. On the way, Tanner called. He asked about Dad, then said, "Hey, can you swing by the wine country house? Inspector left some forms." "Not today," I said. "Next week, maybe." "Cool, no rush," I reminded him. Again, his insurance was overdue. Yeah, I'll get it to you," he said, brushing it off. Typical Tanner. While we talked, I heard Hawaiian music in the background. That soft island stuff took me right back to our honeymoon. Made me wish I was in Hawaii too, next to Anna. So I called her. She picked up groggy. "Morning." That's when it hit me. Hawaii was 3 hours behind. "Crap, sorry. Forgot the time difference." "It's okay," she said. "How's your dad?" We talked for a few minutes. She sounded tired, but normal. Still, my head went back to that music. The same stuff I'd just heard on Tanner's end. We hung up when Mom called. Later, I helped with chores, but I kept thinking about the music. It was the same song. I froze. First, Tanner calls. I hear Hawaiian music. Then I call Anna. Same music, same vibe. Were they together? I told myself I was being nuts. Maybe they were at the same hotel. Music could have been playing over speakers, could be anything. But would Tanner really stay at the Sheraton? Seemed pricey for him. He'd find a cheap spot. Could he have stayed the night? Later that day, I called Anna again. We chatted. I kept it casual. "So, you been hanging with Tanner after work?" She paused. "Why do you ask?" There it was, her classic dodge. "No reason," I said. "Just curious." She said, "I've seen him at the site." That was it. Didn't sit right. That night, I called Tanner. Pretended I was just bugging him again about his payment. Yeah, he said. "I'll call Bernadette in the morning." Then I said, "Thanks for keeping an eye on Anna while she's out there." He replied, "Of course. Can't leave my buddy's pretty wife all alone at night." He said it with a grin in his voice. Anna said they only saw each other at the site. Tanner made it sound like they were hanging out after dark. Stories didn't match. I had no hard proof, just signs. Too many signs. So Monday morning, I met with Yasmin and her husband, Angel. Trusted them both. "I need your help," I said. "I want you to fly to Kauai. Quiet, no drama, just watch. Take pics if something looks off." I handed them a folder with pics of Anna and Tanner. "You'll stay at her hotel. Just watch, no contact. If nothing happens, great. Enjoy a vacation." Angel nodded. "When you want us there?" "Tomorrow. Stay till Sunday." I gave them $1,000 for spending, plus covered flights and the hotel. Before leaving, Angel looked me in the eye. "Mr. Max, if you ever need anything else, you call me." They left. I was still torn, felt half crazy. What if I was wrong? What if I just wasted money chasing ghosts? But better that than not knowing. I kept calling Anna every day. She sounded normal. No red flags, no slip-ups. I started to think maybe I was paranoid. Then came Thursday. I was out near the wine country site, picking up the form Tanner asked about. Phone rang. Yasmin. She wasn't supposed to call unless it was serious. "Max," she said, voice low. Angel got pictures. You need to see them. Just tell me, I said. No, she whispered. You need to see them. My phone buzzed with messages. I hung up and opened them. 4 photos, 4. They showed everything, Anna, Tanner, together, arms wrapped, lips close, like it was nothing new, like they'd done it before. I sat down on a bucket in the garage and just stared. Couldn't even blink. My wife, my best friend. After all I'd been through, with Mia, with trust, with healing, it was happening again. But this time it was worse. Way worse. I don't know how long I sat there. Could I forgive her? Could I forgive him? No. Hell no. Then 2 things hit me at once. First, rage. Hot, sharp, blinding. Second, the smell. The garage reeked of oil-based paint. I looked over, pile of oily rags in the corner. I remembered from an insurance course. Those can catch fire on their own. Spontaneous combustion. I walked over to move them, then stopped. Slow, calm. I pulled on a pair of gloves, threw the rags into a metal bucket, poured more oil-based stain over them, set a bundle of cedar shingles beside it, switched on the little space heater nearby. Then I left, grabbed the dock Tanner had asked for, and got in my truck. No neighbors out there. If a fire started, well, rags like that could go up on their own. Oxygen plus heat plus time equals boom. A known thing. I sent Tanner a text. Got your dock. He replied later, thanks. Then I remembered something. His fire insurance expired. I'd reminded him a bunch of times that week. Wasn't about to go chase down another check. Now he had 0 coverage. And Anna, I couldn't even look her in the eye again. She'd never get how deep she cut me. I just wished for 1 second she could feel the pain I was in. Later, I had an idea. I called Greg Boston, told him I needed to meet right away. That night, we sat at a quiet little spot downtown. He saw my face and frowned. What's going on? I waved it off. Greg, you've asked about my land before. He nodded. You selling? Yeah, but I've got terms. Shoot. I need the house and garden gone, all of it, cleared out in 3 days. He blinked. 3 days? Max, that's not doable. If you can, I'll find someone who can. He held up a hand. Hold on, let me think. He sat back, chewing on the idea. Then said, I can do it, barely, but it'll be tight. We shook on a number. I added one more condition. He didn't ask what it was. Before we left, he looked at me and said, as your friend, what's really going on? Someday. I said, not today. That night, my phone buzzed. Tanner. I let it ring. Next morning, I saw a voicemail. Panicked voice. Max, the house, it's gone. It burned down. I need the payout. When can we talk? I didn't rush. I flipped on the news. There it was. Big headline. Wine country fire destroys house, no injuries. I called Tanner on my way out. He picked up fast, shaky. Max, it's bad. We were almost done building it. It's ash now. I need that insurance money, man. I kept my voice calm. What house are we talking about? He stumbled through it. Cash flow, Kauai, winegrass, everything at once. Total panic. Even if I wanted to help, I couldn't, but I didn't want to. I'll check on it at the office, I said flat. Then he asked, did you get that check from Bernadette? I think I told her to send it. Does it matter? I'll look into it, I said, and hung up. We were done. Now I had to deal with Anna. I called her every day, played it cool. She acted normal, but I could tell she felt something was off. Angel kept sending photos, no doubt left. Tanner kept calling too, each message more desperate. Anna was flying back Monday night. I hadn't told my parents a thing. Dad didn't need the stress. Mom had her hands full. Meanwhile, Greg moved fast, brought in machines, graders, backhoes, loaders, tore it all down. The house, the garden, gone. I had everything packed, her stuff, labeled and boxed. Her work stuff, too. Separate container, mine in another. When I drove up to what used to be our house, there was nothing left. Just sky. Monday. I picked her up at the airport like I promised. Anna walked up grinning like nothing ever happened, like she hadn't torn our marriage to shreds with her bare hands, threw her arms around me, lips ready. I turned my face just enough. She kissed air. Her smile dropped. What's going on? Flight okay? I said flat, not even looking at her. She didn't answer, just stared. The drive was dead quiet, tension thick enough to cut. I tossed out a line about the fire. Didn't stick. Changed the subject. She could feel it. Hell, she could smell the storm coming. Let's grab a drink, I said, eyes locked on the road. Max, I just flew 12 hours. I need a shower and sleep. Too bad. I swerved off the exit before she could argue. Pulled up to a crappy little bar off the highway. Neon buzzed like a dying fly. We sat in a booth, 2 glasses of red. I didn't touch mine. She looked at me like she was waiting for the punchline. What is this? I slid the folder across the table like a dealer laying down a losing hand. She opened it. One photo in, she gasped, Tanner's hands all over her. Her face lit up like Christmas. Max, look, it's not what it looks like. I reached into the folder and pulled the last one, her mouth on his, sheets tangled. No room for lies. Didn't even need to show it. I just looked her dead in the eyes. Try again, I said low. She broke. Started bawling right there in the booth, like some actress in a bad soap. It was stupid. I was lonely. I was tired. He came on strong. It wasn't supposed to go that far. Oh, it went, Anna. Don't act like it just happened. You weren't sleepwalking. She reached for my hand. I pulled back like she was diseased. Max, please, we can fix this. Let's go home. Talk it out. I stood. Yeah, let's go see what's left of home. She looked confused, but followed. Back to the car. Whole ride she sniffled and stared, probably thinking I was going to forgive her like a good little husband. Like a chump. Then she saw it. The estate. Gone. Bulldozers, flattened dirt, her flowers, her studio, all of it, ripped out by the roots. She stopped breathing. Max, she whispered, where is everything? I got out of the car. She stumbled out after, eyes wide like a kid at a crime scene. Where's my garden? Where's my damn studio? I sold it. She blinked. You what? I sold it, Anna. Developers are putting up 28 homes, pre-approved. Nice little suburbia, a real community. You sold our house? She shrieked. What about my show? My business? Guess you'll have to film it from your mom's kitchen. She stormed across the dirt like she was gonna magic her garden back. Fell to her knees where her studio used to be. Dirt in her nails, screaming. You did this to punish me. No, I said cool. You punished yourself. I just cleared the debris. She looked up, face twisted, crying and snarling. You're sick. You're freaking sick, Max. No, I'm awake. You played me, lied. Screwed my friend while I was at home wiping drool off my dying father's chin. She broke again, on her knees, sobbing like it was all news to her. You destroyed everything, she whimpered. I pointed at the storage pod nearby. Your crap's in there. Every heel, every fake plant, every bullshit manifestation journal. Here's your keys. I tossed them in the dirt. And here's a tip. You might want to go stay with your folks. You're not welcome here. She just stared. I turned to leave. Max, she screamed, voice hoarse. You think this fixes anything? This all meant nothing to you. I turned back, slow. This meant everything to me. That's why it's all gone now, because you eliminated it. And I left. The next morning at the office, I told Yasmin everything. She already knew most of it. I also told her Tanner would likely be calling and asked her to screen him. Yasmin confirmed we had never received his insurance payment. Texas Pacific's coverage officially lapsed the Monday before the fire, 3 days before the house burned down. Later that morning, the Yamhill County Fire Marshal showed up. Apparently, Tanner had told him I'd been at the house the day of the fire. Yeah, I said. I was there. Just picking up some paperwork for Tanner. The marshal asked if I'd noticed anything odd. Smells, smoke, heat. I've only been there once before, I replied. Didn't notice anything unusual. 'Cause of the fire? I asked. Nothing official yet, he said. Could have been spontaneous combustion. I raised my brows, feigning confusion. Spontaneous what? He explained how oily rags can ignite on their own. I nodded, asked some questions, played the part. That was the last I heard from the fire department. I told Yasmin to handle any claims Tanner filed with guarantor, the insurer we represented. I didn't want to be involved. My anger at Anna was only rivaled by my rage toward Tanner. Tanner kept trying to call. My cell, my office. I ignored one. Yasmin blocked the other. His voicemails were getting more desperate. Meanwhile, Yasmin began processing Tanner's claim. But I knew insurance companies. A claim filed after the policy expired? It wasn't going anywhere. Eventually, I answered one of Anna's calls. I don't know why I picked up. Probably just wanted to hear her squirm. Max, she said, voice all soft and broken. We need to talk. I'm so sorry. I love you. I need you. I let the silence sit heavy. Then I gave her one shot. 4 o'clock, coffee clutch, Old Town. Hung up before she could say another damn word. She showed up early. Of course she did. Sat there in her designer coat, makeup just right, like she was auditioning for forgiveness. No hug, no handshake. I sat down. cold, distant. She tried reading my face. Anger, heartbreak, hope. I gave her stone. She opened her mouth. I cut in first. When we met, you knew what Mia did to me. Knew I was barely held together, and you promised you weren't like that. I know, she jumped in quick. I felt so... I raised a hand. Nah, you'll talk when I'm done. She shut up. And for once, I told you everything. Let you in where no one else ever got. I believed you. I built a damn future around you. And you spit in my face, slept with my best friend, your goddamn ex. She winced. Tell me why, Anna. Give me one reason I don't just walk the hell out right now. She broke. Tears, shaky voice. It was stupid. It wasn't planned. I'm ashamed. Then came the story. She said she was excited for the trip, even without me. Said Hawaii reminded her of the honeymoon. Cute. Tanner picked her up from the airport, my best friend. Took her on a little tour. Showed her the site like it was his project. Smiled a lot. Told her stories. Dropped her at the Sheraton. Then picked her up again. Dinner, drinks, Kyoki's freaking paradise, strong cocktails. We laughed, she said. Talked about high school. Said it made her feel young. They walked the beach. Barefoot. Moonlight. Romantic bullshit. She said he started talking about their past. Said she was tipsy. Caught up in memories. He asked to come up. For a nightcap, she said, barely above a whisper. I should have said no. She didn't. One thing led to another, she added. I laughed. Cold. Bitter. Yeah, Anna. That's usually how cheating works. She kept going. Said it only happened once. Then admitted they kept texting. He means nothing, she swore. It didn't mean anything. I leaned back, arms crossed. So, you risked everything we built for nothing? That's supposed to make it better? Please, she begged, desperate now. Don't throw us away over some meaningless mistake. I'll do anything, Max, anything. Just tell me what you want. I stared at her for a long second, then said it calm. I want my time back. I want the man I used to be before you tore him down. I want to unsee that picture of you in his bed. She said nothing, just cried. No more words left in her playbook. I grabbed my jacket, pushed the chair back. I'll think about it, I said, walking away. Next morning, I had the divorce papers sent to her front door. Certified, signed. Why? Because, yeah, I thought about it. After I left her sitting there at Coffee Clutch, running that pathetic story on a loop. Thought about her walking barefoot on the beach with my best friend, laughing like high school never ended. And the longer I sat with it, the clearer it got. She didn't just cheat, she pissed on everything we built. I couldn't look at her without seeing it, so no, there was nothing to fix. Nothing left. A few hours later, she showed up at my office. Didn't call, didn't knock. She stormed in, heels clicking like bangs on the floor. You son of a witch, she snapped, slamming the papers on my desk. You said you'd think about it. I didn't even flinch, just looked at her, cool as ice. You think this is funny? She barked. You're gonna end our whole marriage over one mistake, one night? No, Anna, I said flat. I'm ending it because you're a damn liar who slept with my best friend and thought I wouldn't find out. She scoffed. Don't act like you're some kind of saint. You've made mistakes too. Yeah, I said. You were one of them. That hit her. She blinked, like she didn't think I had it in me. Then she changed tactics, dropped the anger, and went full pour me mode. You burned the gardens, she hissed. You nuked everything. CPL is pulling my segments, Max. You think they want a host with no garden? You ended my career. Oh, no, I said, leaning back. Not the roses, not your precious influencer gig. However will the world survive? You think this is a joke? She snapped. I made that show what it is. You made it on my land, with my money. Her eyes sharpened. Don't think I'll walk away broke, she said, venom in her voice now. I'm taking half, the house, the land, the accounts. That's when I really smiled. You're not taking a damn. She stepped closer, finger in my face. Try me. Land's in a trust, Anna, I said slowly, like I was explaining it to a child. My Aunt Helen made sure of it. Long before you ever fake cried your way into my life, you have zero claim. The house is getting flattened. What's left is mine. She stood there, jaw twitching. She wanted to scream, wanted to slap me. Probably both. I turned back to my screen like she was dust on the windowsill. I've got work to do. You can let yourself out. She didn't move for a beat. Then she grabbed the divorce papers off the desk, crumpled them in one hand, and stormed out, slamming the door so hard the glass rattled. 3 days later, Tanner walked in like he owned the damn place. I thought he was still roasting on a beach somewhere in Hawaii. Heard a ruckus at Yasmin's desk, then bam, he pushed right into my office. "The hell are you doing here?" I snapped, standing up. "Get the hell out!" "Max, wait just a minute," he said, throwing a thumb over his shoulder. "Not in front of Yasmin, man. Just give me a damn second." I was boiling, but yeah, I was curious too. I wanted to hear what he'd say about Anna and that disaster he called his finances. He didn't waste time. "I need help with the insurance claim," he blurted. "Everything's crashing. The Hawaii deal's falling apart. I need the payout from the wine country place or I'm screwed." He was rambling, eyes wild. Sounded like he'd taken out a second mortgage on the wine country house to buy some patch of sand in Kauai. Used Winegrass's deposit to start building, then remortgaged the Kauai land to buy lumber or some crap. It was a full-blown circus. Bottom line, he owed Winegrass a beach house, and the clock was ticking. I looked at him, calm but cold. "Tanner," I said real slow, "maybe instead of sipping pina coladas, you should have paid your damn insurance. Second, I don't approve claims. I'm not God, I'm just the agent. Third, your policy canceled. You didn't pay, so no check, no refund, no magic money. You're cooked." His jaw clenched. He looked like a man who just saw the bottom drop out. "Get out," I said again, sharper. "I don't ever want to see your face again." "Max, come on," he said, turning on that fake charm like he thought it still worked. "Anna, she's nothing, just old history, a dumb mistake. She talks about you all the time. She loves you, man. She still—" "Don't say her name." I stepped closer, lowered my voice. "You screwed me over, lied, used me, slept with her. Now you're broke and begging, and you think I'm gonna help you." He didn't answer, just stood there, blinking like he got hit with a bat. I pointed to the door. "Last time, Tanner. Get out." He finally left. I sat there, trying to untangle the bullshit Tanner built. Loans, lies, fake deals. One thing stood out. He owed Sydney Winegrass. And that name, that's not just debt. That's death on a payment plan. Next couple weeks, I faked normal. Greg Boston tore up the land. Dad was crawling back to life. Anna got a lawyer with fangs, and now the suits were neck deep in our wrecked finances. Me? I was rotting inside, pretending in public, screaming in silence. I started seeing a shrink because I didn't like where my thoughts were going. Real dark, real violent. Slowly, I came back up for air. Then, one night, dinner and drinks with some old friends. Nothing fancy, just burgers, fries, dumb laughs. Felt almost human again. Then I saw them, 2 brick walls and hoodies parked by my car. Big dudes, waiting. Nearby, a black Chrysler 300 gleamed like a threat. I slowed. Problem? Wrong move, they grabbed me, arms locked down, no chance to swing. "Max!" someone called. Michael Ameche, all smiles like he'd just stepped out of a mob movie. "Mr. Winegrass wants a word." "He can F off," I snapped. "I'm off duty." Then he cold-cocked me. Fist to the mouth, teeth split lip. Put him in the back. They shoved me into the Chrysler. No one said a word. They drove me to some rotted-out warehouse by the docks. Dead place. Smelled like piss and rust. Dragged me down to a basement that looked like it had seen bodies before. Wet walls, one flickering light, and Tanner tied up, face purple, eyes like a kicked dog. They duct-taped me next to him. One goon stayed, the others dipped. Amici walked back in later, cracking his knuckles. "Winegrass is tied up, but you and me, we got unfinished business." He leaned in close, breath sour. "You remember my leg?" I didn't flinch. "Time to settle up." And he went to work. Fists, elbows, knees, nose shattered, ribs cracked. Everything hurt. He kept swinging. He was smiling the whole time. Then his phone rang. He checked it, licked my blood off his knuckle. "Boss is on his way." They left. Tanner wheezed next to me. "Max, I can pull together $500,000. If you can match it, maybe we buy our way out of this." I didn't reply. I was busy tasting blood. Then footsteps, a Meki, goons, and him. Sydney damn Winegrass. Tall, sharp, pale, dressed like death in a $1,000 suit. Blood-red tie. Hair slicked back like oil. "Lights," he said. One bulb snapped on. He walked slow like a panther in silk. Tanner folded quick. "Mr. Winegrass, I can get your money, I swear. Max has the file. The insurance claim. He's got it. He was supposed to—" Weak. So much for sticking together. Winegrass didn't blink. "I'm a fair man," he said. Calm, like he was reading a bedtime story. "I make deals. Everyone eats. But weakness gets eaten." He looked at Tanner. "You, me, a deal. You burn my cash on some other house. Then that burns down. Now you got nothing. And no insurance? He stepped closer. That true? Tanner stammered, pointed at me. Winegrass didn't even blink. He clapped, once, loud as a bang. Shut the F up. Then he looked at me. You're the insurance man. He says it's your fault he's broke. I got no house, no return on my investment. That makes sense to you? Tanner tried again. Pathetic, Winegrass snapped. Amiche, dump 'em both. He turned to leave. Tanner freaked. Wait! It wasn't my fault! Two goons closed in. I spat blood. Wait, Winegrass stopped, just barely. You insure your properties, right? He stared. Cold. Your agent knock on your door every month? Or someone in your office pays the bill? He didn't answer, but I saw it. Something clicked. Tanner opened his mouth again. Shut him up, Winegrass growled. I kept going. And if a tenant doesn't pay rent, your fault? Nothing. Then a slow nod. Cut my hand loose, I said. I'll show you. He gave the signal. Goons sliced the tape. I pulled my phone. Premium due, October 15th. Here. Text from me on the 6th, 8th, 13th. Emails too, 5 times. I did my job. He read it, silent. I gave him every damn chance. I don't babysit grown men. That's fair, right? He stepped back, thought it over. Then he spoke. Amechi, drive Mr. Bishop back to his car. He turned to me. You breathe one word of this, I'll skin you alive. You understand me? I nodded. Nothing else to do. Tanner cried as they dragged me out. Max, don't leave me like this. I didn't even blink. Amechi tried to play cool in the car. Hey, no hard feelings, huh? Just business. I stared ahead. You broke my leg, I bust your face. Square? Nothing. At the curb, he leaned over. Remember what the boss said? I stared into his smug rat face, gave a nod. But inside, one thought burned hotter than the rest. I'm gonna bury you all.